Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video. I am doing a single page 6x8 layout for my Cincinnati album, but I do have some extra things here. I printed these as 3x4s because at the time I wasn't sure what configuration I was going to do. Now I actually want them in this 4x6 pocket, so those will have to be put together there for the front. I'm going to need a photo flip, so this will be on the inside, this will be at the back. This is obviously a postcard that I picked up when I was there, and I've discovered it's actually a little too big. It's not a true 4x6, a little bit bigger, so I am going to have to trim off a little bit, and I'll have to be careful because there's not a whole lot of room up here and not a bunch down here either. So I'll have to be careful, but I'm sure I can do it. So I have that going, and then obviously I need a card of some type for this pocket, and I am open to like a card that's already made that just has a phrase on it. I don't really want to do any journaling here because we took a boat ride on one of these later in the evening, and I plan to do some journaling there. This was just about kind of walking over the bridge and having the fun thing of, hey, there's one of these boats going right underneath us. So I think I want either a card that just has a phrase on it, or I can build one. And I do have my handy dandy basket of DIY embellishments. So I may also go through here and see if there's something in here I can use to build a card. It just really depends on what I find. Okay, so I grabbed out my photo flip, so I have that at the ready. Now I have to figure out, do I want to just adhere these to the back of this photo and then I don't have to like waste a piece of paper to have in between? Or do I not want to do that? It partially depends on what am I using to embellish these. Because if I need to put a staple through or something, it makes it a little bit more challenging to go front and back. But if I pay attention and do it correctly, it'll be fine. So I think I actually need to pick out my embellishments for these before I go any further with this. I definitely have some good color options here. I have some red happening, and it's kind of a lot of red, and I don't know what I'm going to find here, so I don't know that red is going to be my first choice for embellishing these, but you never know. So I've grabbed out my pink and red pile here. The water looks very green in these pictures, plus I have this green, so I did pull out those as well. I actually have a smaller pack of things that are multicolored. There might be something in here, I'm not sure, so I grabbed it just in case. But then I also have black and white happening, so I grabbed those too. Well, I have found 3 things that I'm considering. 2 are black and white, and 1 is green. I have this that says local favorite, and it would fit either right there or in the lower left. Either way, I think it would look good. I have this little circle here that says this view. Again, could put it there, here, or here. I'm not as crazy about this one, and I don't know if it's the circular shape that's throwing me off. Something about it just feels like maybe it doesn't go, but I'm willing to still entertain it. And then I had just this label that I had obviously cut part of it to use for something else, and this is what was left. But it does fit well there. So I could use that and stamp something in there. So of the 3, I like these 2 the best. This one the least. So I probably need to figure out, do I want more black and white? Do I want to bring in this green? Because when this flips, it'll be like this. So you'll actually see this laid out like that. And I do like the idea of, a little green shows up here when it's also in this corner. But black and white goes with everything, so it's going to take me a minute to decide. I've decided to go with the green, and I have pulled out 2 of the 3 travel stamp cases that I have. Look at that one. It's so stuffed. It doesn't even quite close all the way. But I've pulled these out in hopes I will find some kind of smaller phrase that will fit in there, and then I can get to the stamping. All right, I have my ink, and I've picked out my stamp. I want to do this one. This is a very tiny set from Citrus Twist. I want to do this one that says perspective, because this was our perspective from looking out from the bridge, and it will fit perfectly in there. So that's my choice. My stamping is done, and now it's time to attach it here. And I'm going to do it right up there in the right-hand corner, flush to the right. And then I am going to put a staple in there, and I'm going to do it now, because if I put those other photos on the back, I don't want that staple coming through. All right, so these will go on the back side, and then I just have to decide, do I want something on these in terms of embellishment? So it'll actually sit like this. This will help me more. Oh, good. These are opposite, and then when I flip, they'll be on the diagonal, so that's good. But I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't want to move this here because then I have like those green, the green waters too much next to each other, but like this, it's not so bad. Maybe I actually better do this card first because that may determine what else I do. So I went in here and pulled out one of the DIY embellishments I made, and ta-da! I'm going to use that one. And what's interesting is I didn't like the look of the circle on the photo I had, but I don't mind it here when it's going to be in the middle of a card. I don't know why. I think maybe the photo was just too busy or something, but I am going to use that. But now I have to figure out what kind of background do I want, because I already have red, black, and white all represented in here. So I'm not quite sure how to make that work with a background. I thought maybe blue because there's a little bit of the bridge showing through, but then it doesn't occur anywhere else and they'd be next to each other, which I don't like. So there's that problem. It's almost more challenging, like, to try to get in just the right balance of all these different colors. If I just had like one or two colors, it would be a lot easier. I went into my scraps and I found this. It's kind of wild. It's definitely a strong pattern, and then I've got, you know, a pattern happening here. But when I think about that card, what it might look like, I like it better than a plain red or a plain white, or certainly not a plain black because it would blend in too much. So I think I'm going to cut this down and just try it. I adhered that to the background paper, and it is busy, but I like it, so I'm going to keep it. But in looking at this, I feel like there's already a lot happening. I can't do anything else here. If I do anything, it has to be on this photo. And I'm thinking maybe just a simple black and white phrase label that I have in my travel stash of stuff, and maybe put it like right over the wheel here just to break that up a little bit. So I found two things in my black and white phrases. I found this one, which I didn't realize actually has kind of a tan. It's a very light tan color on the font, and it's not that far off from this. So I think I'm going to use that one right there to bring in the black and this color. And then also in there, I found this that just says postcard. So I'm hoping I can attach it to the postcard and it'll look decent. I have attached everything here to the back of this photo, and so now it's ready to go. This will attach there and open up, which is great. I put these in the pocket, so they're ready to go. This is really all I have left, so I have to cut it down. And then I was trying to figure out how to use this because I had forgotten, even just in the few minutes since I last looked at it, that it said this at the bottom. So I can't put anything there, but I'm wondering if I can layer it like that. I think that might be okay. So first I'm going to cut it down to make it 4x6, and then I'll assess adding that. So this postcard is a really odd size. I had to cut off this much, about 1/8 of an inch, to get it to be 4 inches here. But then I just discovered it's shorter than 6 inches. It's not even quite a full 6 inches. So whatever, it's going in as is. I'm not going to back it on anything or use a mat. That's just more than I want to do. So it's going to go in like that. That is all done. I cut it down. I added the postcard little phrase label there, so that's all good. Now I'm going to attach this, and as you'll see, it's going to cover up one of the holes. But I have a crocodile, and I just use that to make my own holes right through the page protector. So really the trick is just getting this lined up where I want it to be. And the bottom of the flip will hang over the edge of the page protector a little bit. It's just the way these are made, and that's fine. There we go. So let's just check it now. So that's the front, and that's with the flip. And here's another one done for Cincy. Thanks for watching.